The less friends you have, the easier it is to express yourself.
Life lessons from George Pringle.
Yeah.
Like a song without words or an unfinished poem, Brighton has long been synonymous with lazy beatniks. And trust me, I know of where I speak on this one. Every year they flock down in their thousands to set up shop in the seaside city, convinced that they alone will change the world with their artistic endeavour. Theirs will be the paintings that reduce grime men to tears, and they alone will write the songs that join warring nations together in sweet, mellifluous harmony. But as we all know, the best laid plans of mice and men often fall asunder, and so it goes our young protagonists spend untold summers sat outside watering holes, supping on shandies, shooting the breeze and watching that sweet beak roll past. It truly is a triumph of leisure over creativity. And this is clearly nothing new, it's been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. Ever since the royal wild child, Prince Regent George IV, ventured south from London on a quest to sate his hunger for rich food, strong booze and loose women. He erected the Rococo phallus known as the Pavilion, and so it came to pass that Brighton was known the world over as the UK capital of lost weekends. Fast forward to the here and now, and this weekend is no exception. The Great Escape rolls into town, bringing with it a cast of rockers and rollers from the globe over. All of them hell-bent of spending 3 days of non-stop party fun time in the city that never sleeps. We'll endeavour to be your eyes and ears on the ground, bringing you big talk and backbiting from behind the scenes, as well as some top recommendations from chaps with front row seats. So sit back and drink it in like someone's just called Prohibition. This is the Porter Report of the Great Escape. Hot fire. Smooth. Welcome to the Porter Report. We're here on the beach. We're about to have a little mingle with George Pringle. How you doing, darling?
I'm okay.
Yeah, you enjoying the sun?
Loving it.
It's quite handy, I think, because you look at a lot of the bands playing at the Great Escape, and they're all quite pasty dudes. And I think if the glorious sunshine had carried on, there'd have been some complaints of sunburn.
Yes.
No one wants that.
So maybe I should enlighten you on what happens in your absence. This selfish existence where this introvert turns extrovert and dons their social armour. I became the perfect party apprentice, with a PhD in sitting on kitchen counters and drawing my cheeks in and shooting you looks I don't even mean. And hips that grind to scratchy indie hits, and shoes that stick to nightclub floors. Well, you can understand why I can't. You've never been up at 4 AM with the fear. You never laid in your bedroom floor half blind. You wouldn't love the girl that wakes up sparring beer.
Carte Postales was the first tune I heard of yours. Is that pronounced right? I'm not very good at French.
Yeah, I suppose it's supposed to be more like carte postale.
Carte Postale.
But yeah, like it's like carte door ice cream.
Right, but it comes through the post.
It's like, yeah, show him the carte door.
It's quite intriguing. You fit a hell of a lot of words into your songs.
Yeah.
Hell of a lot. On
You know
average.
why that was on that particular track?
Why is that?
It's because it was on 120 beats per minute and I couldn't make it faster. So I always thought I'd just sort of witter and try and fill it up because it was quite sort of, yeah. So that's how that happened. But yeah, I do. A lot of words.
Do you ever think that you'll be performing live and there'll be a room full of people singing it back to you word for word?
Yes.
It's going to be tricky for them.
Miracles happen.
Miracles do
it
happen.
It might happen one day.
Do you think it's fair to say that the narrative is coming back into music more so than it has been in previous years? What I'm saying is verse, chorus is pretty standard. But you eschew that completely.
Yeah. I think that's probably because musically everything's been done. So the only thing that people really hang on to are stories.
And do your friends, because it's all quite autobiographical, do your friends cower each time they see you reach for your notebook?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah. Or camera.
Or,
Well, I don't have many friends, so it makes things a bit easier.
I've always found that in life, actually. When you've got no one to account to.
The less friends you have, the easier it is to express yourself.
Life lessons from George Pringle,
Yeah.
Volume 1.
No one's listening. Yeah.
How long have you been making music for?
Since I was 16.
Right.
So,
But you started off doing acoustic stuff, right?
yeah.
And now you've moved into
No,
the
actually, no, I started off in a punk band and then it was acoustic.
literally jumping through the genres like a dog through hoops.
Exactly. I was like, yeah, done with you. Done with you. Then.
When did you move to synthesizers then?
Because it was on my Mac and I actually was using musical typing, so I wasn't even using keyboard.
Right.
And I still don't like using keyboards. I just got a keyboard and I plug it in and it's weird.
It's a bit old hat.
Yeah, I don't know, I just quite like the fact that I'm not a very good pianist, so giving me a keyboard means I have to make an effort.
I cry much less these days. I can't help but wonder what happened to ninjas and adventure. My dreams are like flashes and they give me hope, and in these dreams I grew the bones of a fighter while you were sleeping. And I became supreme, and I fought and I seduced from a terrace house that rides a hill in this dead little city.
I don't have record deals, so...
Do you think you really need one in this day and age?
Kind of if you need money. I think that's the main thing. But
Don't we all?
yeah, it's kind of like you can go for a bit, like I self-released and made every single CD, but I think I'm going to look into a deal soon just because to have the money to do that kind of thing. And
What would you do with the money? Would you spend it all on...
buy a pony.
That is probably one of the best dances I've had, at least this weekend. Have you managed to see any other bands whilst you've been here at the Great Escape?
I just got in. So
Have you?
Yeah, I don't really like, I'm not that interested, I've seen most of them.
No,
To be honest.
I've always preferred sitting nonchalantly outside venues to actually go in and listen to
all about
music.
just sitting slagging off every band.
Which are the shittest bands that you've seen not seen at a festival?
Not seeing it at a festival. Jeez, I'm trying to think.
I didn't see Coldplay.
You didn't see Coldplay? I saw Arcade Fire.
I didn't see
that
them
wasn't
either.
Very good. It was like
Missed them.
I don't know. It was like stadium rock. That's what it actually really genuinely felt like, stadium rock. But
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan. You ever seen?
Slipknot? That was funny.
I've missed
Ages ago,
I've missed Slipknot too a couple of times. Chaz and Dave, you ever seen them?
No.
You should
Do they exist?
definitely. Oh, you should check them out. They're the future of the past of music.
Mhm.
That is for me indigenous rock and roll.
Okay.
They they invented British music. A lot of people credit it to the Beatles, but they were just messing about. It was Chaz and Dave. You never heard Rabbit, Rabbit, Rabbit?
No.
Or Wallop, He Went Down?
No. You're taking the piss out of me.
I'm not. I genuinely do. I do worry. I worry sometimes for the youth of today, because if more people listen to Chaz and Dave, there'd be a lot less knife crime, for one thing.
Cinematic mini epics sobered by train lines and phone lines. And I forget these things. My life's a tangle of cables these days, roads and train tracks like wallpaper now. I started taking hundreds upon hundreds of photographs, all of which you're absent from. A detailed scientific investigation into light reflected on glass, and I became invisible. Listening to techno and shoegaze in my room all alone, and private parties all for myself, and slender fingers home from MSN, an encyclopedic knowledge of daytime television presenters.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you for talking to me.
What are you going to do now? Have an ice cream, buy a postcard?
I've got 2 hours to obliterate myself.
Well, let's get obliterated.
And then forget.
And then sort of stumble around on stage forgetting all of those thousands of words.
I can pick some of these up, yeah, and if they're being crap,
Lob them in.
yeah,
Absolutely.
spit them out.
Yeah. All right. Well, look. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too.
And are you related to the jumper, by the way?
No.
You're not. It's
I'm
my
not. Or
favourite.
crisps, not at all.
Yeah, but
I used to look after a blind man at Senior Citizens, and he always used to wear the Pringle jumper when I
This
came
is a
round.
Pringle jumper.
And it was green like that.
Yeah.
With red? No, it's never red logo.
I've got a red Pringle.
So M&S.
I've got a blue Pringle.
Okay.
My pants and socks are M&S as it goes, but that's getting a little bit too personal, so we'll leave it there.
Okay.
Okay. On that note, this has been the Port Report. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Hot fire.
I became perfect party apprentice with a PhD in sitting on kitchen counters and drawing my cheeks in and shooting you looks that I don't even mean. And hips that grind to scratchy indie hits. And shoes that stick to nightclub floors. Well, you can understand why I can't. You've never been up at 4 a.m. with the fear. You never laid in your bedroom floor half blind. You wouldn't love the girl that wakes up to spy.